What's up? What's up? What's up? It's been a while. It has been a while. We were starting the year together, and then here we are. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We have been in so many transitions this month, and so thank you for 7 Days of Magic people for joining me live. We have legit graduated to doing double screen, so I'm gonna press live on the IG. Give me 1 second. All right. Welcome, IG peeps. So I wanted to set it up in a way that I wasn't looking like this at two different screens, so I have one on top of the other, and let's see if that works. But welcome, thank you for joining me. My name is Michelle Giovanni, for those of you that don't know me. And for my 7 Days of Magic peeps, thank you for being here with me. I'm super excited. We started the year together, and we were on it every day for 7 days, where we learned about how to really harness the energy of each day's ruling planet. And that was so beautiful and so rich. And so thank you. And then, as you all know, lots of changes happened really quick. My father-in-law transitions. We bought our first home that is a non-investment home, that we will be the ones living in it, and that was super exciting. But there was these two things happening that were major and also very, very different energy. One was of mourning and grief and holding space, and then the other one was celebrating big milestones and celebrating something that my husband and I, we've put our heart and soul and minds to in the last couple years to really be able to do that. So it was these two very different energies. But as you all know, and I know some of you have been sharing that with me offline, that this month felt interesting overall because we had a lot of planets retrograde, major planets, and so we felt like this slow introspective energy. And I just want to really state the facts. I'm not an astrologer, but I am a psychic medium. I am a channel, but what I devote myself is to really be a spiritual business mentor for people to really stand and live out the full potential of who they are and what they came here to be, to live their divine purpose and their impact and the contribution that they came here to be. And so I say that because there are a lot of amazing astrologers, and I'm very connected to the planets, and I've always been. I'm very connected to the spiritual world, and I feel like there's a lot of people really sharing more and more these days, whereas 10 years ago, 13 years ago, it was a big taboo. It was seen as this thing that we couldn't really share because we felt like the moment we shared, we were looked at like we were crazy. People would give me that look like, the fuck is she talking about? And so I'm excited to see people making this the new normal. So I decided to go live today because for my 7 Days of Magic peep, we were supposed to do a full moon ceremony, and that would initiate the beginning of the pre-work of my program that we're launching live this week, called Magick here. And I'm going to talk about that at the end, so stay tuned for that. But this was just a quick live to just support you in harnessing the energy of tomorrow's new moon. I'm calling it the moon that we've all been waiting for this year, because of all the new moons of this year, this one is one of the most potent. It is one of the most powerful, in my opinion. And I really do believe that all full moons and all new moons and the eclipses and so many different transit dynamics are super powerful because they support us as an energetic portal, an energetic tool to come into alignment with our truth, to come into alignment with our divinity, with our authentic self-expression, with our self-worth. It's this unraveling and reshuffling and this unique energy vibration for you to use as a recalibration tool. And so tomorrow is the Aquarian new moon. And ironically, it's also happening at the same time as the Chinese New Year. And I've been saying this to my 7 days of Magick peeps, that December, January is not the official new year. It's not designed that way astrologically. It happens in March, but in Chinese, in the New Year Chinese, in the Chinese New Year, it is happening tomorrow. And it initiates the year of the water tiger, which I think is fascinating. Because the water tiger is about courage, confidence to really step into that big life. The big, big, juicy vision that you have for yourself. It's about radical changes. It's about big life changes. It's about big thinking. It's about innovation. And it's about having fun and owning your pleasure, your adventure. It's such a big energy vibe. And it's very similar to the new moon energy of Aquarius, because we have Aquarian's ruling planet, which is Uranus, and that is like the big rebel, the big interrupter, the one that wants us to like make the changes now so we can have the life that we know we are so worthy of and deserving of, and the life that really inspires us. A lot of times we get very comfortable. We get very comfortable with living in our circumstances, getting comfortable with what we think life is, and have settled in it and have made it the thing that we get up, we work hard, we come back home, we veggie out, we do the things we do for pleasure, fun. But most people just come home to like make food and tune into downtime and just make it this like habit. And as creatures of habit, we start to solidify these patterns that just keep regurgitating the same energy patterns, the same dynamic, the same day. And you'll even hear it in people's language, right? Where same day, different day, same thing, something like that. But Aquarius has this new moon has like this rebel energy where it's about challenging us to think bigger, to think and come from a space of innovation, come from a space of what is it that we really want? What is it that we dream and long for? And what are the changes that need to happen in terms of foundation and structure and discipline and boundaries that you need to put in place? And that's where the Capricorn comes into play with the Saturn vibes, because there's a lot of Saturn energy in this new moon tomorrow. And it's about questioning your patterns and your structure and your discipline and your habits that you have created up until now. And because Mercury is in retrograde, we're looking at the past. We're still kind of assessing the past. So this moon tomorrow, I'm inviting you all to really step into reflecting and completing with the past. Completing from a place of sovereignty, from a place of devotion to this new life that you're calling in, to this new vision that you're calling in. And oftentimes, and I say this, and I know it can feel like we've heard this a lot, especially around the new year. It's all about getting clear and getting clear. But I can't stress it enough. Oftentimes, 99% of the time, what's holding us back is the lack of clarity, is the lack of willingness to get clear and do the work that it requires to get clear. And most people will make it about thinking and sitting in that, like they feel like it's just gonna kind of land on them, like this lightning is gonna hit them and they're just gonna get clear from massively overthinking over and over and over. And I'm like, no, welcome to the game of insanity. Yeah, I can feel the rebel energy too. Lately I'm like, nope, Does it feel good? Nope. But I'm saying this to like really emphasize the importance of developing that spiritual intimacy. And what I mean by that is investing time and energy and money, if you have that opportunity to invest in yourself, to get clear on what are the things that truly excite you and that feel like, for you to get clear on the vision that is most aligned to your truth, to the path that most excites you. And because people are not clear, they'll usually keep doing a lot of the same things, expecting something miraculously to save them from this ongoing hamster wheel. And so I say this, and I'm repeating it so that you understand that developing spiritual intimacy requires a getting to know yourself consistently over and over and over with devotion, which means time, energy, space, for you to get clear on all the things that you really desire from your heart, not from the ego that wants the brand new car, that wants the luxury and lavish home. No, from what feels in alignment with my heart and my soul. What is calling me forward? How do I want to grow internally? How do I want to express my gifts? How do I want to amplify my voice and take up space in the things and in the path that I came here to be and create and do and have? And so we're all destined for the life that truly excites us and inspires us, but it is going to require you to take some space and time and energy and reflect and do that consistent getting to know yourself and getting to, it's almost like, for my single peeps, it's almost like what you want in a man, in a relationship that's starting out. You're getting to know yourself. You're getting to get to know your values, the vision, the things that you love. You want someone to take their time, and oftentimes we don't give ourselves that time with ourselves. And I've said this before in my posts, and I know my posts on social media can be long, but I say this over and over. All of us are evolving at such a fast pace, especially with the last 2 master years that we've had, 2020 and 2021. We've had 2 master years in a row that have confronted us, have challenged us to grow, and it's evolved us at such a fast pace that we are not the same person that we were 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. And so it's going to require you to stop holding yourself prisoner to old attachments, old constructs of your personality, of your identity, of who you thought you were. It is going to require you to do the inner work to set yourself free from those constraints, to set yourself free from those things that are holding us back from actually going towards the things that we want. That was that was like a whole preach in a moment. Ilska is asking, what specific practices do you recommend for getting to know yourself? Yes, great question. Ask yourself really good questions. Ask yourself the questions that you would ask a new person that you're considering dating. Ask yourself those questions and spend some time reflecting and assessing yourself on those questions. What are the things that are getting in the way of you being your most truest, authentic, self-expressed human? What are the things that light you up? What are the things that really excite you? What are your values? When you ask yourself high quality questions and you spend some time journaling, you're going to start allowing the channel to open up and to open up space for your inner source, your inner child, to start expressing to you what are your values and why are they important, and what your values feel like. And that's when you start to marry, and I was saying this to one of my clients here, that it's when you start doing the work to marry your father and your mother, your head and your heart. Because sometimes when we feel like we're not clear, there's a divorce happening, there's a disconnection happening where our divine feminine isn't trusting our divine masculine. And we talked about that a lot in 7 Days of Magic. It's important for you to do the inner work to get to know yourself every day anew. It's like you're meeting a new person every day and you're getting clear on what feels good. Sometimes doing the same morning practices over and over and over become dogmatic. They become stale to your body because your body isn't engaged or activated in the same way it felt when you were doing those morning rituals consistently a few times. So sometimes, because we're evolving at such a fast pace, it's going to require us to do some discovery and some self-inquiry of like, wait a minute, what feels good today? What feels aligned in this moment? What feels most nourishing for me in this moment? Especially for my women. You know, when you are on your moon, some things are going to feel good and some things are not. Maybe that specific morning ritual is not in alignment with your energy patterns of that day, of that night. And so learning what feels good, moment to moment, what feels aligned in your morning practices is going to support you in honoring your evolution, the way you're evolving, your self-expression moment to moment. Another thing that you can do, Ilcia, is take time to move the body. And after you move the body, so whether it's through a dance ritual, whether it's moving your body without like having it be a specific dance pattern that you know in your mind, like allowing your body to just kind of move and flow and move into breath work. Then right after, going into intention setting, asking yourself, what is that life that truly excites us? How do I want to feel in this moment? How do I want to feel this week? What am I calling forth this week? What am I calling forth this month? What is my overarching intention? That's why some people use the word of the year. They choose a word because it emits a specific frequency for them, because it starts shaping what their actions are going to be around. So asking really good questions, moving the body, and then moving into intention setting and vision casting for yourself. And if it's hard for you to ask yourself the questions, partner up with somebody where you interview them and they ask you questions that support you in getting clear. I feel like we are in the Aquarian age, and it's time to really dive into the medicine of community, into this divine healing intelligence that gets activated when two or more gather in the name of love. When two or more gather, the spirit, the energy of Great Spirit amplifies. So how can we literally take ownership of the collective energy that we have around us, the community? And I was saying that a lot when I was promoting 7 Days of Magic at the beginning of the year, that community is the new guru. It is no longer about positioning, and please take off the pedestal any gurus, any mentors or speakers or teachers or coaches that you have idolized so much that you don't hold yourself in your sovereignty. Unfollow them. Put them on mute for a bit, because it's so important to step into sovereignty this year. Like, really claim your sacral power, your personal authority in your life over all of your domains. And the reason why I find that a lot of people are in multiple containers and multiple programs and multiple things is because they're not trusting themselves. They're not in their sovereignty. They're not leading from sovereignty. They're holding people above. They're holding people in pedestals. They're holding the work or astrology in a pedestal. You know, I had asked a medicine woman to lead the lead a portion of my retreat, and it was the biggest lesson for me. And we'll get back into the Aquarian new moon vibes after this quick story, but it was a great lesson for me because she was a yes, and then she had consulted with her astrology mentor, and she came back like a no, hard no. And then she was projecting that onto me, where she was saying, well, I think it's absolutely dangerous to be doing any retreat under this eclipse season. And I checked in with my guides, and it was a full body yes. And as some of you know, I'm really connected to my guides. I can see the spiritual world. I believe everyone, all of us, are a channel. And if you do the work, you can activate your clairs to be able to see, hear messages, and really connect to the divine in your own unique way. And so that is something that I've been practicing since I was very young. And I checked in with my guides, and it was a full body yes. And I was like, no, that's not my stuff. I truly believe in the science of the spiritual world, which is deeply rooted in astrology. However, it is a man-made interpreted body of information. We have our interpretations, we have our perceptions, we have our level of awarenesses, we have our levels of consciousness. And I checked in with myself, and I checked in with my guides, and it was like, no, it's supposed to be that weekend. It gets to be that weekend. The retreat is happening. And that was our first retreat that we sold out. And it was so freaking powerful. Like, it was just a huge catapult for everyone that was there, including myself. And so, please, 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 check in with yourself. Take everyone off pedestals. Take the work off pedestals. This is a year and a time and a specific new moon formation for you to step into your inner rebel, but also bring in the mastery of foundation and framework and boundaries and the inner parenting that's needed for your child to set those boundaries and apply the wisdom that you know at a soul level to your life. It gets to be practical. It gets to be real. And it's so important for you to balance those out. Yes, we are spiritual beings, but we are living in a 3D reality. We're living in a world where we decided to be here. We chose to be here to create a new world together through our thoughts, through our words, through our emotions, through our patterns, through our actions. And so make it a point to really check in with yourself and to build the life that you want. It's not going to happen by you meditating all day. I love you all, but it's not happening. It's not. It is going to take work. It is going to take both inner work and outer work, and you doing what's needed, doing your part for the vision. And the vision, your desires, chose you to be the vessel of that expression of spirit. Spirit is seeking to experience itself through the manifestation of these desires. You are so worthy of your desires, and they chose you because you have everything it needs on a soul level to make them happen. So I also want to emphasize that this new moon is asking you to let go of the old constructs. Let go of who you think you were. Let go of how you used to do things. This is an energy of innovation. Innovation, and it's asking you to get in alignment with that big vision, with that juicy vision. Stop settling for what you think at the level of the mind, you can attract or create or manifest. Start asking your heart, okay, what is that big juicy vision that excites me, that would wake me up every day without the alarm? And how can I get into alignment with the frequency of how that feels? And make that your daily devotion. Make that your daily practice, where you start asking yourself, okay, how does receiving the thing, fill in the blank, feel in my body? And let your body lead you. Let your body move you. And when you get in that energy, that's the best place to create strategy from. That's the best place to like manifest from. If you're doing it from the ego, where it's concerned on how it's gonna happen, this doesn't feel right, I can't believe it, I'll believe it when I see it. If you're coming from that energy, then you're gonna dispel. You're literally gonna repel your creation, your manifestation. Get into alignment with gratitude of how your life is right now. Extract all the lessons of last year, and then make a pact with yourself, a ceremony tomorrow when this new moon in Aquarius amplifies. Ask yourself, what do I really want? What feels exciting? What new ways of living, being, and doing life I get to call in? What is that life that really excites? And then write it across all domains. This is a big year for you to ask yourself and like consistently move into that frequency of what will it take for me to open up to receive this big juicy life. I want to make sure I covered everything. Yeah, I did. I wanted to share with you really quickly Magick Year. So we are launching. This is the last week to sign up. We're going live Wednesday. Wednesday we will start the pre-work. You will have access to everything. The URL, and I'll put this in the comments, is magickyear.com, MAGICK year.com. This is a spiritual, somatic, online mentorship to create your greatest year ever from the inside out at the level of the body. Our body, the somatic world has really changed my life in so many ways. It's healed me, and it's like just opened up a space to unlock my mystical gifts in a way that truly moves me when I share it with people. I am deeply humbled at what's unlocked when we start living in alignment at the level of the body, when we bring the heart and the mind in this divine sacred union, in this marriage that starts trusting each other and starts building and fostering the space. When we feel safe in our bodies, guys, when we feel safe in our bodies, we are able to dream, create, and manifest so much in our lives. So much that the old you would be like, no, that would be impossible. And that's what Magick Year is about. It's stepping into your sovereignty. It's building that safety feeling of allowing yourself to be moved by your desires, of living in alignment with your vision and the true potentiality of what your vision is calling you to step into. So please, if you've been considering working with me, this is your opportunity to step into a magical container for 9 weeks. Usually my programs are 6 weeks, 5 weeks, but I decided to make this longer because I really wanted us to move through the phase of the mind, the body, the spirit, and create that deep spiritual intimacy and clarity that evokes the devotion, that evokes our vision to lead us and be in this reciprocity, this dual relationship with our vision. A lot of us push to make it happen, And what we do is actually push the vision further out, making it so much harder for us. But when we learn to trust ourselves, and when we learn to trust our vision, when we learn to trust all the support that we have, magic happens. So what is Magic Year? Magic Year is the year that changes everything. Pandemic or no pandemic, we're throwing out all of our circumstances, all of our stories and excuses. We're honoring them. We're holding space for them. But we're stepping into the courage and the conviction and the clarity that your desires are asking of you. Every next level, and this is not my quote, but I love this quote. Every next level is going to require a new you. Will demand a new you. A new you in terms of identity, a new you in terms of ideas, thinking, emotions, words. And it's going to require us to step in with full devotion, faith, and a deep-rooted connection to ourselves and to Source. Because if not, and I don't say this lightly, so whether it's with me or with anyone, I strongly encourage everyone to get themselves an expert that fully embodies where you want to be. And that's not to say that those experts don't have shit, because we all do. We all have shit. We all have growing pains. We all have things that we get to move and face through, face and navigate. It's normal. Okay, welcome to the human club. If you're in the flesh, you have shit. But it's time to really be about it. And that's what this new moon is asking. It's time to be about it. It's time to get in alignment with that juicy big vision and make the radical changes to make it happen. So there are different investment options. Do not let money hold you back from this opportunity. Make it a point to invest in yourself, even if it's not with me. Hire someone that you trust. Hire someone that you know can hold space for you. Make the investment in yourself, in your dreams, in your vision, because it's so much bigger than you. And especially if you're a healer, teacher, a coach, a facilitator, I am so against the coaches out there that are playing gods in their bubble, that really feel like they're untouchable and they don't get to have a coach. Nope. I'm sorry. We all have blind spots, and we all get to have that support, because we are the only animal, and I can't say that for certainty, right, because we don't know what animals say, but we're the only animals that have a self-referring nervous system where we can assess ourselves and think and create. And most of our traumas, I would say 99% of them, 90% of them, just to give us some wiggle room, most of our traumas and our shadows were birthed in relationship with others. And so it is going to take community to hold space for your somatic healing, for your freedom. It will take others. So make it a point. Invest in yourself, invest in your dreams, invest in your potential, take a stand, because there's so many other people waiting for you to rise to the level that you get to rise in order for them to activate. This is so much bigger than you and me and all of us together. We're literally creating a new world, a new earth, through our thoughts, our emotions, our thinking, through how we live and embody our truth, through how we self-express our divine purpose in every moment. I love you all so much. If there's any questions, now's the time. I'm going to hang out for another 5 minutes. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited that... And you guys are going to feel it too. Trust me. This new moon tomorrow is going to activate all the feel-good vibes. And it's going to supercharge all of your dreams. You're going to, This next month, all the planets go direct. It's going to be such a huge month. And you're going to feel that supercharged. You're going to feel like that excitement and that momentum, and feel that you're taking action. And one thing that I'll say that brings me to the question that was asked earlier is that if you really want to know who you are, get clear and start noticing and observing yourself in your action. What you do reveals who you are, moment to moment. Your action, and I believe it was Krishnamurti that really said it best. It's like, if you want to know who you are, start, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says, start observing yourself in relationship, which means start observing yourself through action. Your action will reveal who you are. It's not who you think you are. It's not all these stories in your mind. It's when the rubber meets the road, the action that you take day in and day out reveals who you are. So a lot of people want to be philanthropists and be this like epic person, fame and fortune, and make a difference in the world. But yet, if you look at their action, it's like in a complete dissonance with who they say they want to be. Because they're probably spending all the money on themselves, or, Amazon has all their money, or Starbucks has all their money. But if you really wanted to make a difference, then on a weekly basis you would be tithing or supporting something, some foundation. So check in. What are your actions, not from a place of beat up or judgment, but what are your actions revealing about you? And just get curious with compassion to start noticing where you get to elevate, where you get to shift, where you get to make some big changes. Releasing the old constructs, and like getting deeply rooted on how can I live in alignment with who I really want to step into? How can I live in alignment with who I am committed to becoming? How can I live in alignment with who my vision is asking for me to step into and become? And that's going to require work, inner work and outer work. It's not just about sitting with the deck cards and meditating or doing yoga. It's going to require you rolling up your sleeves and being about what you preach, so that you can fully embody who you came here to be. Dope. Thank you so much. I love you all. Please, please, please take advantage of this new moon. And if you're excited to kick off the year with me for 9 weeks online in a private, intimate container, make it a point to sign up and take advantage of this, because this will never be priced at this price ever again. So I love you all. I'll put the links in the comments, and I hope to see you there. Alright, bye guys. Have a beautiful evening.